Hey skiers, I'm Jeff from skiessentials.com.
I'm Bob. How's it going?
Welcome to our weekly Top 5 Fridays ski industry news videos. I took a week off last week for the Christmas holiday.
Back for New Year's, though.
Back for New Year's. Yeah, happy New Year's Eve.
Yep.
To celebrate the new year, you skied your Solomon Superforce whatever from 1998 this morning.
Yeah, it's always fun going back in time. It's like a time machine. It reminds me of skiing here in college.
Skis are 24 years old.
Yeah, pretty good. Still work.
They look great out
Yeah,
there.
they're super fun.
Yeah.
Just have to remember to turn.
Yeah, or how to turn.
And you can't tip.
Right.
Tip. You gotta,
Yeah, there's no lateral initiation.
No, none whatsoever.
It's really interesting going back and skiing stuff like that compared to like the stuff that we get to ski now.
Right.
It just makes it so much easier.
Yeah, no, I do it for appreciation as much as anything else.
So that was fun. Threw a little footage of you in there.
Oh, good.
Hopefully people enjoyed that. So I think with that we can get right into the news. First topic of the week, we have some ski racing updates as we often start with. The women were in Lienz, Austria for giant slalom and slalom. As many of you probably saw because she posted about it and she has like millions of followers. Michaela Schifrin unfortunately tested positive for COVID, forcing her to miss both events. I believe the next events are next weekend, like the 5th. So
Hoping for a speedy recovery.
time will tell. Yeah, time will tell if she's able to race in those. And then I think the next races are another week out. So we'll see. Fingers crossed. Paula Moltzen kind of took the lead on the women's side for the U.S. team, picking up a 22nd finish in giant slalom and a 20th in slalom. The men were in Bormio for downhill and Super G. And Ryan Cochran-Siegel had a great finish, picking up 4th place in Super G.
He's fast.
He's fast, and this is like a comeback season for him. You know, he had that bad crash and injury last year. So really, really promising finish for Ryan, especially as we kind of head towards the Olympics.
Yep.
Big things coming for that Cochran family.
Right?
Who would have guessed?
I think my kids are skiing there right now at Cochrane.
They're
So
probably going to be the future Olympians. I think that's what happens when you ski at Cochran's. You just go to the Olympics.
yeah, must be.
It's like, yeah, they happen just one after the other.
Yep.
Go to Cochran's, become Olympian. So, yeah, Ryan picked up 4th. Travis Ganong was 18th in Super G. On the downhill side, really strong finish from the men's team, putting 4 skiers in the finals. Travis was 8th. Jared Goldberg was 15th. Ryan Cochran-Siegel 20th. And then Steven Nyman snagged 30th. So
Good for them.
yeah, pretty strong finish from the men there. And then second topic of the week, kind of continuing the ski racing theme, details about the Bejing ski race courses remain relatively unknown because no one's really ever raced on them before.
I remember when they did this in South Korea, and they just kind of like chose a mountain
Yeah.
and then cut race trails.
Yeah, which is exactly what they've done in China.
Yeah.
And basically because of the pandemic, they haven't really had any races there.
Yeah.
They had, I think, 1 or 2 events that were technically FIS events, but they were only Chinese racers. So I wonder if that'll give the Chinese team an upper hand. But yeah, it's going to be really interesting because this is the first time ever that no one has raced, or there hasn't been a major World Cup race on an Olympic course.
Yeah, I mean, think about these skiers that do birds of prey, you know, and they know that course. They know the trail. They know
Exactly.
what the conditions are, like when it's going to be sunny, or think
Yep.
about like when you or I ski like nosedive, like we know the turns, we know the terrain.
Yeah, no matter what the weather's like.
Yeah, and then coming in totally cold to, you know, a speed event would
Yeah, it'd be terrifying.
probably be pretty scary.
Yeah, and I think an interesting part of this is that the wax technicians, they have no like historical data to go off.
Yep.
So I thought this article is put together by skiinghistory.org, and I thought that was really interesting. Just reading about that, they're pulling up like just general climate data recent years and stuff like that, and trying to kind of figure out what the moisture content in the snow is going to be and all that fun stuff.
Right, for like a random day in February.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of cool. Like you were saying, like, it's exciting.
Yeah.
No one's ever skied it before, even playing field.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So we'll have to see. Time will tell what these races are like. Another thing that I think is really interesting is where they built the courses. They don't get like any natural snow.
It's all technical snow.
Yeah. Pretty interesting stuff. It's going to be a fascinating Olympic Games. And then third topic of the week, kind of a bummer. I was hoping that we would slowly remove these topics from Top 5 Fridays, but we're seeing some pretty significant COVID case surges, specifically in skiing communities, which is a bummer.
Yeah, and I think more specifically, even like the employees, like the staff of these places, and
certainly what it seems like.
Yeah, given the amount of skier traffic that we're seeing, like they really can't afford to lose workers.
Right. Yeah, so Alta is experiencing a pretty significant COVID outbreak, like you said, causing significant staffing shortages, and they also cited like really disappointed skiers that got there and tested positive and had to quarantine, and like just you're like watching people ski out your window while you wait your 5 days or whatever the CDC recommends now. Park City saw a surge in cases over the past week, despite having Utah's highest vaccination rate.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully those people aren't getting too sick.
I suppose that is the hope. Yeah, but I thought that was interesting. In Summit County, 35% of all tests came back as positive.
That's a big positivity rate right there.
Doesn't feel great. I saw some statistics yesterday. I believe Summit County is the highest percentage of positive cases in the country.
Yeah, I saw something about that, like Summit, like Pitkin.
Yeah, Eagle.
And Eagle, whatever.
Yeah.
Wherever Vale is.
Not great.
Not great, nope.
At Killington, at least 86 employees have tested positive.
Yeah, and that's close to us.
100 miles away.
Yeah.
And suppose one of the most interesting aspects of this season is that so far it's not affecting ski area operations.
Right.
Last year it felt like if this had happened, we would have seen shutdowns.
Yeah. I mean, we're seeing slowdowns, like there's definitely some issues with staffing and stuff like that are making it less than normal. But I think that's like, if we don't expect that by now, then I don't know what to say about that.
Right. And, Vail did change their mask policy for gondolas. So we are seeing resorts kind of pivot a little bit.
Yep.
But so far you can still go skiing everywhere.
Yep.
Still load lifts, full capacity.
Yeah, most lifts, most days.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good thing.
Yep. So, we'll keep an eye on this. I mean, feels like we're kind of getting to the end of the holiday period, so maybe we'll get a little bit of a lull in mountain communities and kind of allow them to recuperate a little bit. But time will tell. And then fourth topic of the week, we have really cool article from swissinfo.ch highlighting Stockli as a manufacturer and how they are surviving supply chain issues. Obviously, we are a Stockli dealer, so this hits right home for us. So I thought that was pretty interesting. They talked specifically about an adhesive that they only get from Japan, that they stock like in excess. They buy it in bulk so that they never run out. And that the pandemic has caused them to have shortages on all the other materials.
Right.
So
yeah, it's interesting how we see that, and we see it here. Like we were short on like shipping boxes the other day. Like we had a hard time getting shipping boxes. Right. So it's just interesting how all of these different moving parts have affected, like ski sales in one way or another.
Yeah, they all go hand in hand.
Yep.
Another thing that this article touched on was the rising material costs, which is affecting ski manufacturers. We've had plenty of meetings with manufacturers thus far about their increase in material costs and what might happen to pricing structures. None of that is reflected in this year's prices because everything was kind of already locked in. But
are we going to see a $2,000 Stockli at some point?
surely at some point. But I suppose I can maybe for the first time publicly sit here and say pretty confidently that you will see an increase in ski prices next year.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a major increase. Some manufacturers, from what I've seen, are trying really hard to keep the prices the same. Others are bumping things up a little bit. Nothing major. I'd say less than 10% price increases. But I think that's something that good for consumers to be aware of and anticipate, as you will see some increased prices in skis next year.
Yeah.
Is what it is. And that's it for topics. Lastly, we have our edits of the week. First up is Nordica's Neck of the Woods with Brooks Kern.
Pretty cool video.
Right here in Vermont.
Yep.
It's great.
Very close to home.
Yeah. I love that he dragged along people on his adventures. They were just like, what am I doing?
It's pretty rugged stuff.
Like if Brooks Kern called me today and was like, do you want to go skiing tomorrow? I would probably say no.
No thanks.
Where are we going? I would at least be careful about where he was going to take me. But pretty cool. Brooks is an unbelievable skier and really puts a lot of effort into skiing some cool lines and zones in New England.
Yeah. Like culvert skiing.
Yeah. Pretty impressive stuff from him. Pretty good commitment. And then second edit of the week is from Forefront Films or Forefront Skis, Better Late Than Never with Thane Rich. It's a 2.5 minute long season edit. Guy's an incredible skier. Mm-hmm. Super strong. I'd like to see more of Thane Rich skiing.
Sirens.
I wonder if those are celebratory New Year's Eve sirens or something's on fire.
Sounds like a fire truck.
Yeah. And then last edit of the week is from the 50 Project, Mount St. Elias. I saw you looking around on maps at this.
Yeah, I'd never heard of it before. And this big 18,000-foot mountain straddles, Alaska and the Yukon.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, big mountain. And it's one of those ones that comes right out of the sea pretty much. It's close to sea level. So it's 18,000 feet straight up.
Pretty long episode, too. It's 36 minutes long. So grab some popcorn, settle in.
It takes a while to climb and ski those big mountains.
36 minutes, apparently.
I don't know. That would be pretty quick.
So that's it for Top 5 Fridays this week. Bob, any exciting New Year's Eve plans?
No.
Can't say that I have many either. I'll be out there with Green Mountain Academy coaching tomorrow morning, so will not be staying up for the ball to drop tonight. Does anybody still watch the ball drop?
I would imagine people do.
Will you leave a comment if you're planning on watching the ball drop?
Maybe it's we're in the vast minority.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe 100 people are going to comment and be like, what's wrong with you people?
Right. Who doesn't? Oh, well.
We'll find out. Anyways, hope you all have a happy and safe New Year's Eve and a great start to 2022. And we'll see you out there on the slopes and talk to you next week.
Happy New Year.